Local video generation. So today I want us to take a look at the LTXV, which recently got updated, and in my opinion is just a really great video generation tool for offline video generations. It can run on many different graphics cards, and it pretty much runs real time. I mean, of course, depending on your equipment, but you can get great results. And in my case, I'm using a workflow that I'm going to provide the link for, which is really smart workflow, and it's also kind of like generates the prompt for you, because I think the main difficulty in the LTXV is usually getting the right prompt. But this one, it generates the prompt for you. So in this case, we have an image. This is the input image that I generated, and this is the video that it got me just in a couple of seconds. And I think, for the result that is like really quick and it took me just a couple of seconds to generate, I think that's just like a really good result. And before we just jump more into the workflow, I want to explain more about the LTXV. So as you can see, this is the GitHub page of the LTX video that I'm going to provide the link for in the description. And here, as you can see, they show the different results that they managed to get with the model, as well as the prompts. And the thing that you might notice here is that the prompts are really, really long and descriptive. And that's the way how LTXV works. It needs a long and descriptive prompts so that you would be able to get good results. Because if you don't write the prompt in the right way, you're going to get bad results and bad generation overall. Another thing you would need, and I'm going to provide, is Comfy UI LTX Video installation guide. So essentially, it's going to take you through how to install LTX Video, because for some people who are just starting with Comfy UI, it might be really difficult to do that. And here they show pretty much like all the steps that you need to take. They suggest to install the main custom node through the Comfy UI manager, which you can, when you open it up, you can open up the manager here and go to the custom nodes manager and install the LTXV package here, LTXV, and there it is, LTX video. I also downloaded LTX tricks. So once you download all of that, you'd be able to have those nodes inside of the Comfy UI, but that's not all of it, because you still need to install the model itself, which is 5 GB. They provide the link here on the Hugging Face. And also you would need to install the text encoder, which you can find as well on the Hugging Face website. And as you can see, it's straight away a download links that you can download here. And here you would need just to download this one, T5XXL. So once you download this, you just put it into the clip folders, and you put the LTX video, as they mentioned here on the website. I think it's a diffusion models. Oh, no, checkpoints. There it is. So you put it into the checkpoints folder. So once you do all of that, you should be able to run the LTXV workflow. So this one, as I said, I'm going to provide. Let's take a look at it, how it works. So the first thing is the image. This is the input image that you have to put in. And once you do that, you need to define the size of the generation that you want to do, right? And so officially LTXV is actually been trained on the small videos, so it wouldn't be able to generate you really high resolution. And unless you have like, a specific graphics card that is designed for working with AI and that has a lot of VRAM memory, you probably wouldn't be able to generate large videos anyways. So in this case, I'm just generating a small square, which is 512 by 512. I think you can also try to go for 678, 768 by 768. This is also another generation that you can do. But there is an optimal resolution, which I'm just going to provide here on the screen. And so this is just like the resolutions that you can use, for the LTXV model. And in this case, once you set it all up, we can take a look at the other parts of it. And here we have a Vision Foundation model called Florence 2. And it's a super useful model because it basically can help you caption the images that you have. And sometimes, when you have a lot of images or you don't want to write captions for, this is the model to go. And in this case, it's super useful because essentially, as I said, the hard part about the using LTXV is that, it would need long prompts to generate a proper video. and you know, it cannot, without a proper prompt, give you good results. And so the cool part about this workflow is that Florence to run and Florence model can essentially generate that prompt for you. And I'm going to show you an example. For example, in this case, as you can see, this is the prompt that it generated for me. I just changed it up a little bit. That's why I pasted it in here. But normally it just would be empty. If you generating it for a new image, just would be empty. And what you would need to do is, like you see this last sentence here. And this is something that LTXV needs for the video generation. We can take a look at it at the official GitHub page. If you look at the example prompts, as you can see here, it says this scene appears to be from a movie or a TV show, or in this case, it says this scene captured in real life footage. So there is like a different ending of the prompts that usually help also to guide the LTXV with the video generation. And the one that I currently have for my workflow is the scene is computer generated imagery. So you just have to put it basically here at the end. What it's gonna do is connect those two strings together. That's essentially all it does. The string function, it connects the strings together, so that we would have a one connected prompt. So another thing that you would want to take a look at is this specific module here. It's on the upper part of the workflow. And here you can decide the number of frames that you want to have. So essentially, let's say we want to have a couple of seconds. We can open up our calculator and just calculate it. Let's say 24 frames by 5 seconds. So it'll be 120. And so if I set it to 120 frames here, as you can see, it automatically changes it to a value that the LTXV is optimized to work with. In this case, it's 121, so we can generate 121 frames. And also we can set the frame rate here. I will set it to 24. We don't need to be fancy and go 25. So after you set that up, the length and the amount of the frame rate that you need, another thing you want to take a look at is the amount of steps that you have in your video. And the thing is about LTXV model is that the more steps you have, the better the video generation is going to be. So in this case, it's just 60 steps, but I've been trying out to put 500 steps, and it generates a better, more coherent results with higher amount of steps. But obviously it takes longer time. So after setting up the amount of steps that you need, the next thing we can take a look at is this part, and I forgot to mention it, is that here, when you load up your workflow, most likely it's going to give you an error. So you have to reconnect the files here and put in the correct, models for it to load properly. And in this case, it's this one and this one. So once you put them in the correct folders, they're going to be visible, and you'll be able to reconnect them here. So after you're done setting everything up, here at the bottom right of the screen, you can press Q and then wait for the model to generate your video. And as I said, we already went through all the settings here. Also, one thing that I forgot to mention is this negative clip text encode. If you are seeing some weird artifacts, you can also add some additional stuff in here that would help you with the generation to get it running better, so it could help in certain cases. And you would have this prompt generated by the Florence 2 model right over here. And if you want to adjust it, you can just copy the prompt from here. That's what I do sometimes, paste it in here and just type in whatever you want and change it up however you want to get the results. So after you do all of that, you press the Q, and in my case I already pressed it, and I got another video generation. In this time it took longer because I set up 768 by 768, but if you had a smaller resolution it would be much faster. So maybe actually let's try to run it on a smaller resolution, something like 512 by 512, and I'm going to set it up to a small amount of steps, something like 25, so we can try to run it and see what kind of results we can get. So there's the result that we got. Because it was a smaller amount of samples, as you can see, now it generates some unusual weird artifacts, but that's the beauty of working with these models. If you need something quick, you can just put a low amount of samples and small resolution and get the results that you need. So I think this is it for today's workflow. I think it's a very useful workflow. In the next videos, we will take a look at the other available workflows as well as the different video generation models. And I don't want to just overflow you with the information. I think this is the entry point that you need to check out if you want to start with video generation models. I think this is very easy to install and really like cool results you can get with just like, uploading the image with this workflow. So I think it's just like something that you need to try out. And then we'll take a look at the other video generation models. So thank you for watching, and bye.